anything goes. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. We've got some solid players today, mostly Man United. We know why they're on here because they had a great weekend. Usually they all scatter away and flake, but you won. Happens a little bit rare these days. But so all United cast, an all United cast today. We have Greeny as a Liverpool fan, and you got myself as an Arsenal fan, the only independent parties involved. Now, we're going to go straight to it. We're going to talk about the Champions League, and we're going to start off with the new rules of the Champions League. So first and foremost, are you guys for it or against it?
I'm not going to lie to you. What are the new rules of the Champions League?
I was going to say this.
They don't come into, I don't think they'll come into like 2024, do they?
2024?
Yeah.
So me and Derby were speaking about it, and Derby's obviously, and it doesn't like change. He's a dinosaur when it comes to football, right? So sorry, Derby. So whenever there's something new that's introduced, he's always against it. But I was actually thinking that it could add some excitement because effectively what they're trying to do is, rather than it be straight into groups, they want to put everybody in a league. Yeah. So you're all in a league. They obviously randomize all your games. So I think you have to play something like 8 games or something like that. And then the top 6 go automatically through, and everybody else has to play in a playoff, and then it goes into knockout stage.
Pretty much. More teams involved then.
Sorry?
Yeah, more teams. I think there's 4 more teams.
I don't have time for that. It's supposed to be the elite competition. Why are we adding more teams to it?
It's money. It's as simple as that. It's money. It's just more games, more revenue. But you know what they did say, Chris, which I'm not going to lie? I mean, definitely Arsenal fans, Spurs fans, definitely going to be for this. Even us, Liverpool fans, everyone who has a terrible season, if you finish 5th, one of the spots will be for a team with high coefficients. So you could finish 5th and miss out, but then they'll be like, oh, you've done well over the last few seasons, so you'll qualify.
It doesn't feel as elite anymore.
They're literally basically saying, oh, we want all the top players in there, and if you don't get in, then there's a little back door that you can come in.
Yeah.
Ron, I don't think that us as Arsenal and United fans can be like picking and choosing. All out here in Europa, so
I know, but still, you know what I mean? Like, anyone in it
said, for example, Spurs this season, if it happened, Spurs would have made it last season because they finished 5th, didn't they? 6th.
That's what I mean. Like, imagine if like Aston Villa made like 5th.
No, but 5th doesn't get you automatic Champions League. It's only if you've got the coefficients. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a
gateway. Yeah, it's like a backdoor way. I'm not really for it, man.
But would you rather that, or would you rather them Spartak Mandem?
It's just it's one step closer to this like Super League thing, isn't it? That's all it is. It's just UEFA basically. Like
the way they said it though is, so you've got like all these teams in this league, and the fixtures are decided by, again, the rankings and the seeding. So you won't necessarily play everyone in the league because too many teams.
Yeah.
So you just only play like a set amount, which I suppose is similar because the group stages are like that.
Based on seeding.
I think I would say why tamper with it? Champions League's been fine for like it works. Like why fiddle with it? To be fair, I know a certain man haven't won the Champions League in here, so every little helps. But teams like Liverpool and Man United that are historically very successful in Europe. I don't think we need to change it too much.
Wait, is it not mad though that Aston Villa have won a Champions League and Arsenal have never won one? Like, that's such a
not in Forest. Yeah. They've won 2.
Yeah.
Them and one when it was black and white. So I'm calm.
Yeah, no, it's just money though, isn't it? They just want to make.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But say. Okay, let just in the spirit of what Alfred was saying, let's paint the positives. That's the negative.
Mm-hmm.
The positive is you might get a Liverpool Real Madrid in the group stage, or a Liverpool Man United. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what they're trying to do, is to have more of these glamorized more regularly.
Okay, here's a question. Say Man United are in the Champions League now. would you be wanting an English team in the quarters or the semis? Because I cannot think of anything worse than playing a Chelsea or City in the next round. I just think
they're the worst games.
Yeah.
They're the worst games.
I hate the fact that United are still in the Europa Cup.
Arsenal in the Europa League still.
Mate, come on. We're here.
Do you remember they had the old Champions League format? Not the old one, but the one before they trimmed it down, which had the second group stage. Do you ever remember that?
Nah.
How old are you guys? Chris, you should remember that. We're the same age.
What, say again?
Do you remember? Like, I swear it was only until like 2004 they changed it or something like that. Remember,
What was the format before?
two group stages.
I don't remember that at all. What was the point of having 2 group stages?
I have no idea, but that's what they did, and they trimmed it down. This was like recent, it wasn't ages ago.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do here is because it's obviously going to be, I think, home and away games as well. What they're trying to do here is take more of an American model, because the NBA follows the same thing. They have a league, and then based on where you fall in the league, you have seeds.
Oh, then you go into the
and then you play, and then you go that way. I think that's what they're trying to do, which we'll see whether it's successful or not. But I think what that does is the playoff games are going to be so like intense now. If you have somebody from Real Madrid playing somebody, let's say, for example, Real Madrid had a high seed playing someone like a Spartak, now it's like a playoff. Every game matters then. I think it'll be really entertaining.
So is it still home and away?
Yeah, home and away.
I don't get what's different though.
Yeah, I don't think it changes anything.
Doesn't change.
How many teams go up from the league table then into the playoffs?
The top 8.
Yeah, I think top 8, and then the bottom 8.
Top 8.
Top 8 go through to the next.
Which is the same because they're 16 in the knockout stage.
Well, you're saying that you want the glamour ties in the league rounds. Who's going to be? If it's top 8, no one's going to play their strongest teams in those kind of matches.
No.
All this is basically.
Well, the one thing that falls apart for me is like, unless you get to play everyone, it don't make sense because you could top a league not having played. Someone else could have a harder fixtures. Like, it don't make sense.
It's diluted.
Unless you're playing, it's at a neutral venue. Unless it's what you play each other once at a neutral ground.
I just
They
think
can't do.
Nah, they don't do that.
It'll take ages to complete that league.
that's why though, because there's more games, isn't it? More games, more sponsorship.
It's
all that kind of stuff.
10 group stage game rather than 6. So it's 4
But also think about it this way. We laugh, but not having a United or the Arsenals and like Chelsea's and all those guys who are playing in the Europa Cup must have a massive impact on viewership for the Champions League itself. So that's why they want to keep them in some shape or form, because they have the big fan bases.
No, I get it from their perspective. It's definitely commercial.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a terrible idea. I agree with you guys. I don't think it's something that needed to be changed. But let's be honest, in a few years' time, if you're seeing more glamour games, you probably are going to be like, these kids growing up nowadays, and they're like Alfred was saying, they're seeing like Spartak Moscow. That's not what they think when they think Champions League. If you got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich in the group stages, it's not a bad thing, is it? And then you've got Real Madrid, I don't know, Juventus as well in the group stage also.
Yeah, but Russians like football too, They want to see their club in the Champions League, you know what I mean?
A PSV thing, Netherlands.
I'll tell Putin that.
I've got a question for you then. If we're talking about prestige games, what was the best Champions League game of the last 10 years? So since, let's say, 2010, what's been the best Champions League game?
It's from like
PSG Barca.
Quality perspective.
I suppose just from a viewership point of view of just a good game of not necessarily like quality football, but just like you said, PSG Barca, like that was just
PSG Barca. Oh my God, that comeback.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. But that's the quality of the game. I don't think that's a big game though, because PSG are little fish.
Yeah, but then you could have.
That's why it's so big, because they're trying to establish themselves, isn't it? There's always that story with PSG.
Yeah, but it became huge because of what happened, not because.
I suppose that was pre-Neymar move as well, wasn't it? So.
Yeah.
Still had Cavani and them, man, bro.
Yeah, they still had PSG and they were like what 3-0 up in the first leg,
and then they scored first.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. You're talking about what happened in the. Are you just talking about what was the biggest glamour tie? Because that's definitely, to me, that's not even an A-list glamour tie. PSG Barca.
They're still
I
making a bit of
think
noise.
it's more the game. That was the game itself.
Yeah,
Wasn't
the
it?
I'm saying,
game.
like, what was the best game? Like, what if you had to pick a game? Okay, let's say this.
As much as it hurts me to say, I would say, look, he's smiling already. Look at him smiling. Liverpool Barcelona was yeah. I'm not even gonna finish the sentence. Whatever. Liverpool Barcelona. I think
if you had a ticket to go to any game of the last 10 years in the Champions League, whether it's good football, like whatever it is, which game would you pick then?
Oh, interesting question.
You know, I just out of principle, I'm not going to Anfield.
Well, that should be like a spin-off like series that we do. Take Alvin Fun, Alvin Anfield.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, I was thinking one of the games and this isn't just to get at United fans, but the final at Wembley, Barcelona, Man United, that Barcelona team were unreal.
2011
years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was that 2011?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It depends what you're talking about. To me, when we played Real Madrid, that was a bigger.
The 2003 one.
13.
Yeah. Which one? 2013.
Yeah, like Chris, 10 years. Come on, maths.
That wasn't a big game.
That was a huge game. What are you on about?
2013.
Yeah.
When Van Persie missed the chance.
Yeah. If you want specifics, Chris, yeah, that was a huge game. You can't remember the profile.
That's pre. Yeah, I suppose. How many Champions League had Madrid won at that time as part of their sort of free-peat?
I have no idea. All I'm saying,
Barcelona was the big team at that point. I don't think that was the glamour time.
Mate,
I don't think that's
Barca
like
never be bigger than Madrid. It's just true. It's just facts. It's true. They're not even close.
Yeah,
They were probably never bigger, but they were the more glamorous team.
No chance.
That Messi one.
They're not a more glamorous club. No chance.
But box office, it's Barcelona versus someone. That prime Barcelona team is more box office than any Madrid team that we've seen in the past 10 years.
Look, let's put it this way. Is that his name? Alex Rodriguez didn't go from Newcastle to Barcelona, did he?
I'm not saying Barcelona are a big team. I'm just saying they're in the last 10 years, they've been a big.
Yeah, Santiago, Alfred, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're the bigger team. We know that. We know Madrid are the biggest team, but they were definitely the glamour tie. Barcelona in the past 10 years.
Yeah, 100%.
Any match involving them is the glamour tie.
Because I don't think you're talking about viewership and I still think Madrid just
no
one's checking.
I think if we're talking last decade, last 20, Barca, surely.
Oh, mate.
Barca.
You're watching their matches. They're the matches. That's the match you want to watch.
You guys are getting caught up in how good the team was.
But that's
so that's why you want to watch them.
Yeah, but that's not what it is. It's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. It don't matter.
So you're saying this? The only team that could be in this is Madrid. So it should be Madrid. Any Madrid-Liverpool match is the glamour tie because of the history of them two clubs.
Yeah, but
by default,
Liverpool, no offense, despite the success, are not in the Madrid super club.
No one is.
No, but I don't think. I think it's the same thing. Again, I'm not trying to just trigger you here, but it's the same thing with Arsenal. Arsenal are a massive club, but they're not a good team. So, like, Barcelona have had a better team than Real Madrid.
I think their matches, pre the free-P or whatever, is more the glamour tie. When you have the Iniesta.
I still don't think. You look at the Galacticos. The Galacticos weren't that successful. Everyone still wanted to watch because it's Real Madrid.
It was the best team. They were definitely the best team at the time.
Wow,
they're the most attractive. They're the most attractive players.
Yeah, but
everyone wanted to watch Ronaldo, Beckham, and them lot.
Yeah, but they weren't winning. Fucking Valencia were winning the league.
But they were box office. You wanted to watch them.
Alvin, if they offered you, okay, maybe this season's a bad example, right?
I just think in general, Madrid is more of a box office than Barcelona. Like, it's not even close.
I think they used to be. I don't think they are now.
I think they're way bigger.
I actually think they are now because their team's better now.
I think how much is this? How much of this is Lionel Messi though?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got to remember, Barcelona, Pep and those guys.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that point. I'm not arguing that point.
I'm league in '92.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that they're the most historic club or whatever, or Madrid are not, bigger than them. I'm just saying they're the most. You wanted to watch them. You didn't want to watch Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and them lot. They were the team you wanted to watch the most.
Ronaldinho.
Let's put it this way. It's like saying Spain are bigger from a football perspective than Brazil. They're just not. Even when they were better, they still weren't a bigger. It's Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm rushing to watch a Brazil match now with Carlson and all them lot.
I'm talking about the draw that Brazil. You just drop the name Brazil. You drop the name Spain. It's two different things. Spain have been better than Brazil for ages.
Basically,
Cool. But would you want to watch a Brazil versus England match or a France versus England match?
But you're talking about me who appreciates, or you're talking about like what? Okay, ask it this way: if you told me you could sell these two matches and I can give you Madrid or Barcelona, you think I'm going to take Barcelona? No,
right now.
Lionel.
But I wouldn't say Barcelona. Yes, come on. If it was the Iniesta, Xavi, Messi time, and someone said, "Watch this,"
points, Chris.
When you watch Robinho, and them like, all right.
Any point. Real Madrid,
Schneider.
You know the scope that these guys have across.
I know how big they are. But I'm talking about the team. That's what it's
these
about.
Latin players. They don't grow up thinking, "I want to play for Barcelona." It's true. They're all.
But people probably would prefer to watch Man City than watch Man United right now, and they're nowhere near as prestigious as us. But people would choose to watch their team.
Yeah, Chris, great point. Not quite the gap. The disparity between them is not as big. But yet you're talking about pundits who watch football would rather watch.
I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about the casual.
No chance, Chris.
If you think the casual would want to watch Man City team?
What are you talking about? There's no chance.
All right, cool. That's what you think.
I don't want to jump into Man United's defense here, but if you ask some person that's traveling, right?
They'll know us more. We're more recognizable, of course.
And on holiday, they're going to go see Man United. But I don't think that the difference is that huge in Spain. I think Barcelona are huge.
No, I'm not saying they're not huge, but they're still the little brother.
Yeah, they're still the little brother.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. I was never arguing that point.
Yeah,
I'm just saying at times there's been times where they're more attractive watch than Madrid.
100%. But we're talking about like glamour tie.
All right. To be fair, they are called Galacticos, so that helps them. But moving on, whilst we're in the Champions League conversation, so who do we think is going to win it?
Man City. Oh god.
Yeah.
As I say, City's got a good chance, but
It's a line in for them, isn't it?
Yeah, but it depends if they want to go for like Premier League and not really. I mean, they're always going to.
They play the kids that win the Premier League now.
I'm saying if they want to go for they need 4 wins to win the league.
Oh, anything can happen. How many games are left in the season?
That's my kind of Man
17
United
points
fan.
ahead.
Yeah, but how many games are left?
17
They've got
points.
7 games left.
Is it 17 points?
Someone
Yeah.
said that.
17. I think it's 17.
I think the thing with City, like City could win the Premier League for every year for the next 10 years, and that's just a tick box for them. They want to win the Champions League. Like that is Pep's thing. I reckon once they do that, Pep might leave City because what's he got left to do? I think they're going to go all out. Huh?
Thanos just picking up Infinity Stones, man.
Serie A, man.
And they're 14 points ahead. We've got 14 points.
Yeah, it was 17 before United won.
And also bearing in mind, like they've also got a game in hand against everyone.
Wraps up.
Everything's right, United might just swoop in.
Don't be silly.
I will make a bet with you right now.
Come on then, go on. We got.
The thing is,
Any amount of money that you want to put on this, City will win in the league.
I'll put my mortgage on it, mate. We'll sign now.
What, that Man United are winning the league?
what, the Europa League, maybe.
Come on. You're trying to be homeless.
Let's not do that. No, let's not do that. I mean, I'll put a cheeky little fiver on it.
Do you not like money?
Give him money away, man.
To be fair, he's just that balling that he doesn't need to.
All right, cool.
You're talking City or Bayern.
Bayern are stubborn, man.
I mean, I actually think Bayern are a better team than City, but
talk about blockbuster. City versus Bayern would be a game.
Yeah,
that's the semi-final, isn't it? If both go through, that'll be the semi. But
although I also wouldn't be surprised if PSG beat Bayern, because Bayern play this. They're like Liverpool. I don't know if it's a German. I think it's a German coach thing where they just don't. Like Pep used to do it as well. Pep used to go, you blink first. He would not change his tactics, whatever. And you got Klopp, got peppered 7 at Aston Villa, and he still plays this stupid. Van Dijk's injured, Gomez is injured. They've got Henderson at the back. He still plays this high line, and Bayern Munich exactly the same. They'll literally just They'll play Boateng at the back with a high line.
I think if City on Munich played, I don't think Munich. I think they, like you said, they don't feel. I don't feel like Bayern really like evolve with the times. They're just a very good team that have been, as in like right now. How is Bayern different to 2 or 3 years ago?
Mate, I think that they're a sleeping giant, man. I think that they just have this like level of like they just turn it up.
No, I disagree. I think Bayern aren't nowhere near what they were a couple of years ago.
Do they need to be beating?
No, sorry. No, what I'm saying is they're better than they were.
Yeah.
As in, they don't play the same. They've taken that whole Klopp press model. That German coaches, to be fair, seem to be doing the gegenpress.
But one thing I will say about Klopp though, and the problem that Bayern don't have is Liverpool, going back to it, they had injuries, of course. Now you put Fabinho back in the middle there, and I'm like, this team, man, it's working.
Bro, I'll find an episode where I've been saying this week in, week out. When Fabinho is back in the midfield, everyone will see a difference. And this is exactly what happened.
We'll talk about this in the manager spot.
I still think that's not proven yet, because you went to the Emirates and rolled them over. They've lost 12 games this season.
None by you, man. But okay.
Those 12 games this season. I don't think that's like Liverpool back. Let's chill. Let's wait and see.
I'm not saying Liverpool are back at all, but I'm just saying the improvement with Fabinho in midfield is dramatic.
Jota, man. Jota.
I think you'd have won that game if Fabinho wasn't playing.
Nah, I don't think so.
But you know they would have won the game?
Nah.
You lost 3-0.
Fabinho's the defensive midfield was the difference.
I think Jota was the difference. I think Jota was the difference. But I think that what Fabinho did is, because we didn't have Xhaka in the midfield and Thomas Partey plays with fucking lemons, what happens is they just won the midfield battle.
Okay.
Thomas Partey plays with lemons. What does that mean?
Like as a midfield partner when.
Oh right, sorry. I didn't understand what you meant. I was thinking what?
Yeah. So basically, what's his name? Ceballos ain't shit. So.
Do you think Partey did anything on Saturday? Because he's getting this free pass.
That's what I'm telling you. Fabinho and them man had.
He's getting a Aubameyang thing from last season where it's Aubameyang and 10 others. I haven't seen anything yet. We know he's good, but still waiting to see something. He's getting a free pass.
Well, he had a great game against United. That's all I'm going to say.
That's the one game I've seen him play well in, I'll be honest.
Come on, man, Alfred. Come on, you got some.
Okay, honest question, Alfred. Do you think that he's played well this season?
No, but he hasn't had a full run of games. So he's been injured. He's been injured, so I think that he'll come good. And also, we'll talk about Arsenal in a bit, but I think we just need to ship out a couple of men. But so we all agree. So we all agree the Man City to win.
No, but why are we sleeping on Dortmund though? Because Dortmund have got.
Fair. I don't know what games everyone watching tonight.
I'm watching City Dortmund.
I think I'm gonna get both of them up.
Feel like a fucking spy. Just watch games on spectating.
Dortmund and City for me.
You think the winner of this tie wins it?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
To be fair, if Dortmund knock City out,
big ask. To knock City out, then knock Munich out.
If Dortmund knock City out, they're getting little broed by Bayern Munich the same way they always do. Like,
2 legs.
Like, not even. I don't even think it's going to be close. Like, they went 2-0 up. I watched the game. 2-0 up against Bayern recently, and Bayern were like, "Okay, we'll stop playing now."
Which is what I think. Bayern are just efficient. They know when to switch it on. Like
Bayern quality. Bayern have no weak. There's very few teams where you look and you go,
centre back. You want to say centre back? I haven't watched them, admittedly, but I look at their centre-back person now, and I'm like, Boateng's still playing.
You have to get there first.
Sule.
He's a good player.
I haven't watched much of him. I know he's highly regarded, but I haven't seen him.
I think Hernandez is a decent player. They haven't got weak defence.
They defend as a team really well.
They haven't got weaknesses anywhere. Look at the whole team. You look at Man City, there's no striker, right? That's like a pretty obvious whole, they're trying their best to work around. Bayern have just got quality everywhere. Everywhere.
City, Aguero leaving City as well opens the door for some mad signing in the summer. If Haaland isn't going to City, then
we're not listening to what Pep's saying then, because he's saying it's not happening.
So you can't afford a striker.
He's never going to come out and say, "Yeah, we're signing a striker." Because as soon as he does that, it's added 20 mil to the fee already. Do you know what I mean?
Man was saying Danny Ings. Good player though. But I think it's bang goals. But all right, cool. So we talked about Champions League there. The next one, a contentious topic. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold was dropped from the England team. And obviously there was a fierce debate on Monday Night Football about whether who should be in the England squad, etc. So thoughts, should Trent be in? And also, who do you think, we're not going to go through the whole 20 teams, but who are the players that you think should not miss out that are currently in the team? And who do you think should be in there that's not getting a look in?
I think if Trent maintains, he was quality on Saturday. Saturday. If he maintains that form from now to the end of the season, he'll go in. But based on his all season form, he doesn't deserve to go in. So I don't understand why people feel like he should just go in automatically.
But here's where my question comes though: is how did Eric Dyer make it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's because the centre backs not as strong as a position.
Centre backs not as strong as right.
Dunk's out here sitting there, no games, no nothing.
I'm interested to hear your opinion, Greedy. Has Trent played well this season?
He's played well. He's had massive dips in his normal level that people would expect him to be. So yeah, he's been questionable. But I think to not include him and for him not to go to the Euros, whether he's had a bad season or not, he's still capable and he's still the best right back in the league. To not take him, I think dropping him now is probably a fair call. But to not take him to the Euros, does he benefit the team? 100%. Does he make the team better? 100%. So to not take him, I think, is just a bit mental. I think there's better players probably defensively. Kyle Walker, probably a better defender than him. But is Kyle Walker better than going forward than him? No. And is Trent as bad defensively as people have made him out to be? No. So I think it's a no-brainer. I think if he doesn't go, then it's a bit crazy. Bearing in mind as well, his last, like you said, he's been questionable at times this season, but also so loads of players. Look at pretty much any player in that England team, you could pick holes in their form this season as well.
His has been, like Chris said, pretty much till the last game that people were like, oh yeah, that's actually true.
But is Trent's poor form? Is Trent playing badly? Trent's level has been so good for so long that his good game, and against Arsenal where he plays so well, is head and shoulders above any other right back. So his average is pretty much the same as most in that England team, I think.
I don't know whether he's going to start over. Gone out.
It's a big conundrum for England because I agree with one half of what you're saying, which is when he plays well, that there's no one that can go forward as well as he can, right? But equally, I agree with Gary Neville's point, which is if I'm Mbappe, I want Trent playing.
Yeah, but you say that, but Champions League final a couple of years ago.
No, I don't want to pick individual matches because I could pick.
Yeah, but you're saying about Mbappe, that would be an individual match against France. We played PSG.
But yeah, what I'm saying is you need to look at the piece of his career, which is he's not a good defender.
He's a good defender.
He's not a good defender.
He is a good defender. There's this narrative.
He's a very good attacker. He's a very good forward. He hasn't demonstrated any good sort of evidence of being a good defender.
I think for the England team, you just start Reece James, man. It's a good player.
Well, yeah, Reece James is very good. That's the difficult with Trent Scott is that he's got someone who can defend, and he might not be as good going forward, but he's good enough that
balanced. So Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a good defender.
He's not. He's a poor. I think I'll go as far as saying he's a poor defender. If you want to hurt Liverpool, you exploit Trent. It's true. If you want to attack Liverpool, you exploit Trent.
he overcompensates for. He's known so much for going forward that's all everyone thinks about. But he's a good defender.
I've seen him get spun by Dwight McNeil. He's not a good defender. He's not. Let me be clear. He's a poor defender.
Ooh.
He's poor defender. He's poor defensive.
You can't be a poor defender to win the Champions League and win the Premier League.
He can. You think I'm saying as far as his
Gary Neville?
Poor.
True.
I'm saying that defensively within that position, he's poor. He's amazing offensively.
He can improve defensively 100%. In his game, defensively is probably his weakness, but he's not a bad defender. He could become better 100%.
If he's not a bad defender, then who is? Like, as a fullback?
Genuinely, do you genuinely think Trent is a bad defender?
Like, he's poor. He's poor defensively. Like so many average players have spun him.
Bad defender.
And Dan, let's just say this: if Bayern have a game plan, you know where they're going. Yeah. They're going on Liverpool's right-hand side. Attack.
You say this about Bayern. You say this about PSG and Mbappe. They're both teams that Liverpool have played and knocked out the Champions League with Trent playing. So
but PSG have a really, really bad defense. They have a proper bad defense.
Then Bayern, then. Why? How did Liverpool not buy that with Trent?
No one's saying that he's a liability to the Liverpool team. He makes you a better team. No one's saying that you're not a good team. We're just saying that there is a big question mark on him defensively.
He's just like Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole, great defensively. It's all right going forward.
You say Ashley Cole is one of the best defenders in Premier League history.
Yeah, we're saying that.
We're not saying as a defender. We're just talking. Trent is England's best right back, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. So you take him.
Yeah, I'm not saying you wouldn't take him. All I'm saying is you would have to be very wary if you're playing France. I think that's a make or break decision. That's what I mean. I think it creates a problem because
I get the problem. I personally, I don't think Southgate picks him. I don't think he goes to the Euros.
Do you think he should start, or are Liverpool fans just happy for him to be selected and be an option?
He has to go.
In all honesty, if I was a Liverpool fan talking, I don't want him to go to the Euros. Why would you?
Do you know what? I do think, and I don't know whether people agree with this, I do think that there's always seems to be a clash between players that play for Liverpool that play for England.
Do you not think Gary Neville, if he played for Man United, would be saying he's the first name on the team sheet? Come on,
Did you actually read what Gary Neville said? He didn't say that
I get what Gary Neville was saying yesterday. I do agree with. I think he's like you're saying about the games. Like the games and the style that England play doesn't fit Trent's way of playing. It's not a natural fit. Like you said, Liverpool and England are two very different styles.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying about the headache and the problem it's causing, but I think if you still take him, like whether there's,
I think you take him.
I think it's crazy that you leave the best right back out. Oh God, here he is. I think it's crazy that you don't take the best right back in for the last 3 years, not this season, but I just think he's not a hindrance. So I think he adds more than he would.
To be fair, if they're taking Trippier, they gotta take Trent, man.
Yeah,
I just think that they need to.
In answer to in what you said earlier as well, the other question, if there's other players that like Grealish has to go to the Euros, 100%. Yeah. But if we're basing it on form, then does Lingard not have to go?
I think he does personally. We've been having debate. I just think that
drops out though for Lingard.
Yeah, they need to drop off one of the defensive midfielders. They're bringing fucking 4 of them.
Playing fantasy football, man.
What I'm saying there though is you're gonna have all these fleeky players that are all like graded assisting, all grid on the eye. Who's gonna score the goals? If Kane gets injured,
if Lingard goes to the Euros, he ain't touching grass. You're not going to see him ahead of Foden, Grealish. So what's the point of bringing him just because he's in form? There's no point. He's going but unfortunately for him, our best players play in his position. Unfortunately,
is West Ham's Bruno?
I think
he is, man.
I wouldn't take him. I think Grealish, Foden, have to play. Like they should be in terms of this tournament is an opportunity for England to actually do something, because the World Cup, I think they rode a wave. Like everyone was gassed about the World Cup and getting to the semi-finals, but England should have got to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
And really, they should have got to the World Cup final because they should have beaten Croatia.
Yeah.
I think this tournament is the one where you just let the youngsters just.
Why didn't England beat Croatia?
Huh?
Derby sitting in
just for the Euros.
Why didn't England?
I'll tell you why, Alvin. I'll tell you why. Because Kyle Walker was playing fucking right back.
Why didn't they beat Croatia? England.
Because of shit.
I'll tell you the simple reason.
Southgate's poor.
Simple reason is because they had Luka Modric in midfield and we had Jordan fucking Henderson running around headless chicken. It is true. If you watch that game, he got, and that's what I talked about when I said his levels. He got absolutely schooled in that match.
That's very fair.
Modric said, "Are they saying you're world class? Okay, let me show you. Let me show you levels." Oh yeah, I'm here as well. Actually, let's all show them levels.
Pjanic and them players.
That was one of the worst England performances I've ever seen from Jordan Henderson. He was poor that night.
Yeah, but who played well?
Derby was getting rattled about the Trippier conversation, by the way. He's just like, man doesn't deserve to touch grass for England.
Does Trent go to the Euros?
100%. 100%. Maybe not start, but he goes.
Yeah.
But the thing with Trent though is when he was in his peak, well, I say peak, but in his real good form the last 2 seasons, he never established himself for England anyway. So he's got no credit in the bank with Southgate. Southgate doesn't know how he really performs for England.
But
because he hasn't established. Yeah.
For someone as good as Trent, he has to be up there because he offers so much. Obviously, he's poor defensively, but when he does attacking, you have to bring someone like that there.
Dan, you say poor defensively.
I'm not saying Trent is. I'm not saying Trent is a really good defender. I'm not saying that. I've said before he's not a good defender, but he's not bad defender. He's not
bad. He's not good.
He's bad at defending.
Oh, he's not bad. Bad is a very strong word. Like. He's not a bad defender. I'm not over that.
So man like Walcott and them just like Southampton, man. I remember that game.
And this is gonna sound weird, and I don't mean to, but if you took his attacking talents out of he wouldn't be a top 10 defender. Like he would be.
I agree with that.
That's fair, but that's like saying, if you take...
He's a bad defender for Liverpool. We're talking about for Liverpool's standard.
He'd be Creswell.
He's not a bad defender.
Creswell's pretty good to be fair.
Player, man.
Creswell whip one in, yeah.
But why doesn't he go to England? That's what I don't get. They're trying to play Trippier from right back to left back. Like, put Creswell in, man. Put Dunk in.
Dunk? We push this Dunk narrative, man.
All right, cool.
I'm pushing Dunk in.
All right, cool. So we all think that Trent should go, but not necessarily start. We agree with that.
Depends who you're playing, yeah.
Yeah. Final point we're gonna touch on underrated manager, overrated manager. Let's put some names in there. Let's start with overrated.
Overrated, just in Prem.
Yeah.
Premier League.
Arteta.
Let Alfred speak on it.
No, I was just trying to think like who is more deserving, but Arsenal have won 12 games and they've lost 12 games.
Wait, are we saying of all time or the past decade?
No, just season.
Current, yeah.
This season.
I just don't see how you get away from that. Let's put it this way, Alfred. And Derby, come here as well. Just so you
can't do this season, man. That's not fair. That's not fair judgment.
I just want a simple answer from you guys. I don't want any we know the process. We know what's going on. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had lost 12 games this season, what would you be saying? What would you guys be saying?
Before I answer the question, what I said is, if anybody criticizes Arteta, I can't defend him because he hasn't done anything to warrant that defense. We've lost more than we won.
Answer my question though. Just answer my question, Alfred. And
not slander, Ole.
If Ole had lost 12 league games,
just don't like him. I just like
Arteta. What would you say?
I swear Wenger never lost 12 games in a season.
No one has.
No, he hasn't.
Who's that?
Wenger. I swear, after all the Wenger out stuff,
he never lost 12 league games in a season.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't make stuff up. Emery never lost.
He said he didn't. He said he didn't with. What I'm saying is,
this is how I know Alvin's always
on smoke, just
No,
ready, just
I'm not
ready.
letting certain man lie their way out.
PTSD, Elvin. But the thing is,
I literally said Wenger never lost 12 games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
Hey, these lot were crucifying Unai Emery. Talking about his speech, the way he says evening, you know, poor guy Spanish trying to speak English.
With Unai, the manager that's going to come straight after Wenger was always doomed. Same as you guys and Moyes. Whatever he did, he was always doomed. Like,
but all I'm asking you guys is,
you can't go from Wenger to loving the next manager.
What we asked this question, like, what is it, like 12 weeks ago when we talked about this? What is the bottom standard? Surely he's gone above the bottom standard.
I think that the reason why he still has a bit of the thing that gave him the biggest lifeline was the fact that he won a trophy. Yeah. That's the only thing. If he didn't win that trophy, they'd be calling for his neck, right? I think that the fact that he won a trophy in half a season from a team that was so poor, that gave him a lifeline. Now, the fact that he's still in the Europa Cup, that's still almost like all right, cool. If they fall out of the Europa Cup, I think you're going to start to hear murmurs of, is he really the right guy? I think that's the only thing that's a saving grace at the moment.
What's your feelings on it? Like,
I'm fine with it.
Speaking of others.
I'm cool with it. Like, because
if he falls out the Europa, you're still happy. He's the man.
My thing is, I want to give him until the summer. The reason why I say that is because with Unai, I didn't know what he was trying to do. With Lundberg, I didn't even know even worse what he was trying to do. Whereas with Arteta, I see what he's trying to do, and I see that the players just can't perform what he's trying to get them to do.
You say that you get to the summer. What are you expecting at the summer? Because realistically, Arsenal ain't going to do anything in the league, and I would be surprised if they're in Europa League. So, what does success look like?
Well, West Ham right now is like mingling amongst Champions League, like the Champions League's party. But if he's a good manager, here's where he earns his bucks, right? If he can do something in the summer and get the players that he needs, and therefore put his managerial skills to the test, then it's down to him. We'll see what he can do in the summer. I think he hasn't got the players, all the players that he needs to play the way that he wants to play. And that's what I think the issue is.
My thing with Arsenal is just two things, which is, I just think there's no consistency amongst their fans because they fan base, depending on what they want fits the narrative. So they say it's the players, but yeah, when we spoke to them, Alfred said to me this season that only 2 United players would get into the Arsenal 11. So it's either the players or it's the manager.
So said Pen Bruno.
Only two, he said. Only 2 would get into the Arsenal side. So what is it? Is it the players? Because you can't just keep switching. Now they're losing. It's the players.
But I think
them so much that you put them to finish 3rd or 4th this season.
But I think that you guys are 2 players away from losing a bag of points, though. So what I think is like the thing is with Arsenal, right? Is we have the players on the team sheet, but the players that turned up this season were not the same players that were playing. Like Aubameyang, poor, thinking he's Travis Scott. Yeah, I don't know what is wrong with him. Coming late to North London derby, he just lost it. He got his big contract and he's on his way out. Lacazette, right, lost his trim. Right, so he hasn't even got the sauciness anymore. He's like we bought Willian. He ain't even playing anymore. Like, we made some decisions on buying players that the mindset was on the way out. Whereas you put Smith Rowe in those guys and they're winning big games. It's like, what's happening? It's all weird. We just have to clear out of all the old players.
But you can look at the manager and saying, are these players regressing because what the manager's doing? Because you know when youth players come into a team and they just sort of play with that freedom. And then it takes a while for that manager's sort of traits to get to the youth players, and then you start to see the same thing.
Yeah, he basically, the players, the big players are basically saying, acting like they're bigger than the club, which is why you have to teach them a lesson, which is why I like the decision they made with Aubameyang in terms of benching him for the North London derby.
That's a power play, that was. That was a power play.
You are. Like Arsene Wenger will let man play. That's what I didn't like about Arsene. I think he got soft over his time. Early Wenger, chop you up, told man not to eat salt with their food. Ian Wright and them men were complaining. He's like, he was ruthless. Then he started getting soft, letting Bettner and them men wear pink boots and play. But sorry, Derby, I was doing that for you. I did that for Derby because Derby hates that. I'm joking. Sorry. But he let Walcott stay with Arsenal for 12 years. Nah, man, that can't run.
Do you know what it is? Though? My thing is, I agree with you. I said before, I don't think you should sack him. I think you should give him time and back him. But there has to be an acknowledgement that this is not good enough. What he's achieving.
No, it's not good enough. But we know the reason.
And it's not the players. He has a good enough squad to be 8th. We're not saying be 4th, be 2nd, be 3rd. To be 7th, 8th. Not to be in 10th.
If you look like Chris Wilder, he'll be gone. If you look like Chris Wilder, he'll be gone. I'm serious.
Whoa!
He's got the glamorous look.
Oh, wait.
And he's a He's a club former player. I think if he looked like Moyes or Wilder, fans are not happy.
He touching grass. Really embracing that managerial pit. So the last manager that I'm gonna.
What you're saying, Chris, is if his name was Michael Arthur, he'd be gone.
That's it. He's got the glamorous thing, and the fact he's got the pep is endorsed.
Carlo.
The Pep cosigns take him a long
Yeah.
But he's closer to Jose than he is to Pep in terms of style.
Oh, speaking about this is nice segue. Talking about overrated. So, Jose Mourinho still got it?
Nah.
I'll tell you why I think it's harsh, the narrative on Jose. I think we can all agree everyone wants to see Jose fail, don't they? He's got that character where everyone wants to see him fail. Let's be honest.
Genuinely, he's easy to dislike, but I'd like to see him do well at Tottenham. Genuinely.
So let me ask this question.
Ron, what are you doing in the dark, bro?
Look, the sun's gone down, man. We're meant to be this guy.
Just there reflecting, man. He's got a letter from EDF on the table.
Carry on.
Now, I'll tell you why I think it's harsh. Because he's 2 points off 4th place.
But
why is there questions?
Because fans are calling him Trophy Mourinho.
Desperate for him to fail.
Yeah, but the thing with Tottenham is when Tottenham lose, they lose. Do you know what I mean? I agree. They've done all right this season domestically in terms of the league because, like I said, they're above Liverpool right now. So he's not had a bad season in that sense. But also, you're forgetting that they started and they were top of the league for a long time. They go out.
People saying that they were title challengers and they were like,
they had
a little period to where they are now.
We're talking about him as a manager. If he at the start of the season, if he finished 4th, that would be a very good season for Spurs, right?
For him as a manager, he always seems to fall out with everyone. He's like, did you see what he said the other day? It was like same coach, different players. Like,
but Pep falls out with people. It's just sexy when Pep does it. You hear what Zlatan said about Pep? You hear what Samuel Eto'o said about Pep? They say like more scathing things than I've ever heard anyone say about a manager.
Yeah,
we are going, but we're going 10 years with that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that probably happened, but this happens with Mourinho all the time. Every club. Yeah, we're literally just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, I think that Jose, right, and I'm counting down. I took it personally when he called Wenger specialist in failure, right? I took it personally, right? Because when you take Wenger's first 10 years and take the last 10 years, obviously the last 10 years was like grossly non-comparable. Whereas Jose is starting to tick away now. When is the last time he won a trophy with United with that Carling Cup?
He won Europa League, which to be fair, not shots. Arsenal didn't do at Arsenal. I didn't win a European trophy. So I was just, I'm just saying the facts.
I'm just saying, like, what year was that?
17. It was not that long ago.
4 years now, no trophy, Mourinho.
He's been out, wasn't he out of work for a year? So, when you actually look at it, he's worked at Spurs for how long?
2 years, a season. Mm.
Yeah.
It's about 2 seasons.
This is what I mean. I think people are just desperate for him to fail because they've got preset narrative. Like Alfred saying, he's literally counting down because he's like, okay, Alfred's got a date, and as soon as that date ticks, he's going to be like, haven't won anything. Now you're a specialist in failure.
Yeah. the thing with Mourinho, if you chat like he has done and say he's a special one, that comes with a target. Like you can't be
years ago. Like, wow, you know what I mean? He's backed that statement up.
He's not. Yeah, he has, but you still. That's the benchmark that he set. That's the bar Mourinho set of. It's like Wenger. Wenger in his first 10 years set a bar. So everything after that in the next 10 years is deemed as average, and he's a specialist in failure. So when does that definition fall for Mourinho?
My thing with Jose is he at a club where you expect him to win?
Yeah, I think Tottenham want to win.
No, but is he expected to win?
Well, he is. I think he is.
I'd say
win what? Win what?
No, I think Daniel Levy's in picking fucking Jose Mourinho, getting all or nothing mandem in the studio.
They can think whatever they want. What I'm saying is it realistic for us to be saying he should win something at Spurs?
Yeah, he should win something.
If Tottenham won the FA Cup, it wouldn't be unexpected. It would be unexpected because they haven't won a trophy, but that team can win trophies.
They have Harry fucking Kane.
They could. You wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham went to the FA Cup final and won. It wouldn't be unexpected.
I would.
They're always going to come up against a team that's better and stronger. So Man City have got the strangle grip on all the cups.
And also,
so they go to every cup competition favourites.
Look how much they invested in Dombet. They didn't come cheap, man. Lascelles.
Yeah, but they're not Jose's. They're not Jose's. And this is what I'm saying. You've got to keep the same narrative because you could say the same thing about Arteta in terms of how much money's been spent on these players.
Lascelles his.
What?
Isn't he?
That's
Pochettino's. Changes about Tottenham though, like there's almost like a narrative with Tottenham and it being like funny that they are shit and don't win trophy, but they were Champions League final 2 years ago. Like it
wasn't like they were lucky to get there, for being honest, weren't they?
You're still in the Champions League final. If you win the game, you win the Champions League. Like look at all the teams that won the Champions League over the last 20 years. There's definitely been teams that have been lucky to win it.
Yeah. I just think, look, if Jose finishes fourth, he's done a great job. If he finishes fifth, has he done a poor job? That's too big.
Sorry,
you know what I mean? Too big a disparity. I think that's when you're almost desperate for someone to fail. If you're saying if they finish fifth, it's a poor season. If they finish fourth, it's a great season. It's too big a.
Yeah, but that's the way the Premier League is. The top four is such a prestige thing in the Premier League. Like I think the top four is a really weird thing where teams are so desperate to get into the top four just to get into the Champions League, but then again, this isn't throwing shade at Arsenal. Well, it is, but it's not a reaction. But there was this thing with Wenger where it's like, oh yeah, but he's always got into the top four. But I was like, yeah, but they do nothing in the Champions League. So what's the point of getting in the top four? Like it doesn't.
Yeah, money. That's it, and then you can.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So is that what you want as a football fan, or do you want to see your team win trophies? Or
I want to see us win trophies, which is fine.
I agree, but I just think it's too big. If you're saying his assignment there, if he doesn't win anything, is a failure, I think that's harsh. Because I wouldn't say Poch was a failure.
Yeah, but I think that if you're coming with the brand of Trophy Mourinho, right? Just like when they came with the Louis van Gaal, you're not coming here to finish. They're getting you to do a job. Yeah, if Pep came in to any team and they say that the expectation is not to win, then
I don't think Pep would do that. Well, I don't think Pep would win at Spurs. I think he needs the best players in almost every position.
Yeah. To be fair though, Mourinho had that with United.
Do you
think Jose had the best team at United?
Man, he had players. Let's not front.
You say this about
they broke the transfer record with Pogba.
Yeah, but he still wasn't.
Had Lukaku as well.
He still didn't have the best team. Nowhere near.
He had Lukaku scoring. Okay, well, we can go.
Mate, don't even try and push this Lukaku.
We can go around in circles. I'm just gonna finish.
I just think it's a bit harsh if you're saying if he finishes fourth, it's a good season. If he finishes fifth, it's a poor season.
I think it is because when they beat you guys 6-1 or something, the way the men were talking, it's crazy. And but yeah, with the players, they got Harry Kane fucking assisting 15 times. All these stuff, man. I think with Harry Kane, that caliber player, and Son, you have to be doing better. At least top four. Come on, Moyes is doing it with Lingard. Like, come on, man.
2 points. That's what I'm saying. It's 2 points off that.
Yeah, we'll see how the season ends. We'll see what happens at the
I
end.
wouldn't be surprised if they miss out, by the way, because their team is very unserious.
Yeah. I'm going to land with just one underrated, and then we can decide on this. David Moyes has to go on there. Underrated, I think.
That's a good season.
What?
You'd have to give it to him.
Ron, what are you smoking?
I've got a vendetta against my man ever since.
He's having a great season, though, isn't he?
But would you be surprised if West Ham next season are in a relegation battle, though?
Nah.
No.
And then are you going to say he's overrated? I think you just need a bit of perspective with Moyes. Like, yeah, he's overachieving, he's doing a great job, but he could easily be down there battling relegation next season, I think.
I really rate Graham Potter, I do. I think he's a good coach. He's doing a good job writing.
The numbers.
Yeah, no, I think
That Southampton manager's overrated, that's one.
Ralph.
Before I go,
Ralph
overrated, Chris.
overrated, man.
Are we talking about underrated or overrated?
I know we're talking about underrated, but I just want to throw that name out there because every top job that will get sort of opened up, he'll be linked with.
Boys,
Based on what?
I'd say
All right, cool. We'll wrap this up then. Dan's in the dark as well. Ron was in the dark. Champions League's happening. We'll wrap this week up. Thanks for listening.
No worries. Take it easy, boys.
Cool.